Hi everybody, it's Julie. Today we're going to pick out some of the pages and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them for my daisy journal that I am making, or journals. I'm making 3 for the August Dollar Store Assembly Line Junk Journal Challenge. So I have a composition book that has graph in it. That was from Target. I have a regular composition book that I don't remember where that one came from. I did purchase some at Dollar Tree and I did purchase some at Target, but I grabbed this one. I have my ledger and I'm actually going to use this one. It is 8.5 and it doesn't say, but it's got 13 columns and I get it at Staples, and I like to use this one because it gives me 2 pages and a flap. Okay, so we're going to use, you can use 2 ledgers in each of the journals, so we're going to have 6 of those for pages. I did pull out 3 envelopes because envelopes are always junk in a Dear Julie challenge now, and so we are going to be working on that. So I wanted to show you some ways to embellish without adding a lot of bulk. Okay, so first of all, when you have one of these composition books, and I really do like to use these for my junk journals because now I can get a side-by-side page that is in the right orientation. So meaning it's going in the right direction. I'm just going to come over and I'm going to trim or cut my string off, hopefully. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to go ahead and cut the string off, and then we'll be able to pull this out. So if you're here at the 10:30 premiere, I want to welcome you. And if you didn't know, we use the premiere format so that we can have a chat. So at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time each day, we have a new video and we have a chat. So I'd love for you to come on over, hit that live chat button right down there and join us. Okay? And yeah, so if you are looking for something to do at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, we'd love to have you join us. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this with this and with the composition book one as well. So, there we go. Then we'll just go and pull the string out of every other one. That's the fastest way I've found to do this. And I'm going to have this whole booklet of side-by-side graph pages. Okay, so just like that, I now have side-by-side pages. So each of my journals this time, so 3 of them, can have a graph paper, right? Let's check our list. 2 ledger papers, 1 graph paper, 1 map, magazine, or calendar page, 1 noisy paper, and 1 any other paper. Okay, and then all your other stuff needs to come from your dollar store, okay, stuff. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so we have our 3 graph papers. Now we are going to want to cut these down. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull out a cutter, and we're going to get these ready right off the bat. Okay, so I want these to be 8.5 inches like all my other things. I think I can cut 2. Okay, and I'm going to cut this side. If I go straight to the 8.5, then I'm going to do them one at a time, you guys, because they're... So I'm going to come here and cut this one down to 9, and then turn it over. I'm cutting off, well, I guess it didn't really matter. So on the other one, I don't have to do it. Okay, so now I can leave this so that it has a flap, or I can cut these down to fit inside the journal. Okay, so, oh, there's 2 of them in here. That's why it felt funky. This will give me all 3. Okay, there's that one. Anybody else find themselves talking to themselves when they're getting pages ready? Okay, so there, that gives me my, oh my goodness, I just knocked over the whole thing. My 3 pages of graph papers. Okay. So next, I am going to do the same thing with the composition book. Okay, so I'm going to find the center, and you'll be able to tell because it'll have stitching in the center. Okay, okay, so there's my center. I'm going to go ahead and break the spine there. So go ahead and go back, rock it back and forth, and then it'll make it that much easier to close it like this. And we'll just go along and cut every other one, just like we did before. And these first few pages are going to have a little bit of extra holes in them, but again, it'll be inside the binding, so it should be okay. Okay, so there's that. And then we go along and just pull. So I was cutting every other stitch. It just makes it easy to go and then to go back and pull out your stitch, just like this. Okay, throw those away. And that's going to give me my writing pages. Now, I don't know how many of these I want, but I do like to have them in groups of 2. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that over. It's a group of 2. Group of 2. Group of 2. So that's one set. Remember, we're doing assembly line and we're making 3 journals all basically at the same time. So this is going to be my next one. Now this is one of my 20 items from the dollar store. Okay. And I could have, my graph paper was 50 cents and this was 50 cents at the composition books I got at Target were 50 cents. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pull out, just in case, one more set. Okay, I don't know if I'll use 3 sets, but I will have them ready. Okay, so that's 2. And then we'll cut these ones down for the 8.5 size and have those ready. Okay. So there's that. I'm not going to put it up there and knock it. I'll put it over here. Okay, so that gives us that and that. And okay, here's our noisy paper. And let's go ahead and get a measurement. So we're almost 12 by 9. We are doing 8.5 this time. Now, one of the things that I can do, and I've done, is I have folded this up and made it into a pocket. But I actually do want noisy paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them this direction will give me the 8.5. I want to have these ready. Okay, and I don't want to flap on this one. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, and oh, it can be 11. We'll go 10.5. That'll give us a little bit of room. Okay, that gives us 10.5. Okay, that's 3, 1 for each. Okay, and then we have our ledger. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that 1. We get 6 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, love to use ledger in my journals. Okay, so I have 6. Okay. I'm not going to put that one up either because we don't want it to. Okay, so these are 8.5. Okay. Yep. They're 8.5. Okay. You can cut them down further if you want to. And so let's see. This particular one is not double-sided. It's one-sided. And I think what I want to do is I want to make this the flap. Okay, so I'm going to measure in 5. See where 5 brings us? 5 is right here. I'm going to bring it to, it's right about 4.5. I'm going to fold them at this line right here. Okay, so it's you get 2 full spaces. Okay. So we're going to fold it. So I figured out where I want it. Now I'm going to even it up here, okay? And that will give me a straight fold, okay? And that's within our 5.5 to 5 inches. Okay, so our 5.5 would be here, which is what most of my pages will be. And you see, we'll have plenty of room. If we're closer to the center, we'll still be good with that flap. And then we can go over here and let's go ahead. You know what? Let's fold this at 5, okay? And see where we are. Yeah, fold it right there, okay? Okay, so this can go in the binding right here. You'll have this flap that will come off. And, or if you decide you want to, you can have it this way and you can go ahead and keep track of your full, everything that you want to keep track of. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold this one. So remember going in at, or folding with 2 full, find your spot, line it up, and fold. Okay, then find your spot. Okay, so there's my spot. And I'm using this one as a template. Line it up, and fold. Okay, so that's giving me 2. Spot, line it up, and fold. Find your spot, line it up, and fold. Okay? So remember, assembly line method. We came up with the idea, and now we're just going to do it. Now this one, I'm going to do them the same, but I'm going to have them do the flip out the different direction. Okay, I'm going to fold them, okay, like we did. Line it up, and fold. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around, and my flip out this time is going to be in this direction. Okay, and so each journal will get one of those. And I've just found, for me, it's better to fold each of these individually rather than line them all up and fold them, because I have ended up with the creep happening. The creep is what happens when you stack paper. Each one, it moves towards the outside, and you can be off. And being off by just a little bit can change your whole, what you're doing. Okay. Okay. So there we've got them all figured out. Let's go ahead and turn these two so that they are ready. Okay, so I have those ready. So each journal gets 2 ledgers, noisy paper, and graph paper. And so that's what we're going to work with today. And we are going to go ahead and let's do some decorating. Okay, so we have 2 different styles here now. Okay, so we have this one where this is our edge, beautiful paper, and I think we can just go ahead and let's pull out. I have this daisy. I think if we put it, and being that I want to make this a writing page, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab our stamp pad. Okay, so just adding that daisy, and let me pull this drawer out. That drawer's over here that I'm using to hold things. If you stamp like that, you'll have less chance of ending up with the outside of the block on there. Okay. Hopefully I get to this side of the craft room today and get to change out the bubble table. Okay, so we have the big daisy on those. Okay, and then we've got this. Okay, and I think for this one we're gonna bring in some more stamps. So that was I think that's my 5th stamp that I've added out of my 9. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and come over here and stamp down the edge, and I'm gonna stamp over here also. Okay. Okay, so there's one stamp. Okay, could we do let's do this also, okay? So, and then it gets 4 on the inside. Okay, so stamp once on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see that we're just gonna have this stamp and stamp pad out and in hand one time. Okay, so whoop. I have 1, 2. Okay, so this one, figure out how this goes. Like that. Okay. Lucy has come in and is laid down on the floor. She's like, it's so cool. There's no dogs in the house right now. So I'm going to come out and hang out with you. Okay, so there we've done the pink on all those. And we'll put that back. And now we're going to add in this stamp. Okay. So this one, I think this is, I'm not sure what stamp this is from. What stamp set? It's from a stamp set that I have. Okay. Go ahead and trying to remember what we did. Okay, we went there. Went off the edge. Ooh, we want to make sure we come in and clean that up. And then over here we went in. Okay, went out, in, out. And over here, there we go. That's 2. Okay, so stamping. There we go. Is a great way to add color without adding a lot of bulk to your journals. And so there's that. I'll go ahead and give that one some of the we had some on the thing there. Okay, so there's those. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab the little yellow. I think I ordered a big one of these. If I didn't, I'm going to. This is mustard seed. I'm really liking mustard seed. Okay, I want to make sure that there's all the ink off here. I'm gonna have to, while I'm cleaning the craft room, I need to find my stamp cleaner too. Yeah, that would be, okay, you know what we've got over here? We have this. Okay. Whoop. Okay, so this one's giving me a little bit of yellow. Let's go ahead. I'm going to just do it that way because otherwise I'll be here. There we have. So a great way to get color, embellishing without adding a whole bunch of bulk. And there, one set of our ledger paper is ready, and I think it's going to be really, really pretty in there. Okay, so we'll put that up here, and then we have this one. And so another thing, you could come back with the black. Okay, want to make sure that I'm in the right direction. Okay, so there's the difference between the two. I kind of like the black added because we are going to be using just the solid black stamp like we've done before with the daisy. Like we did, and then this is similar to what we did on the fabric where we had the pink thumbprint behind it. Oh, this didn't get its yellow. Were you yelling at me? That one didn't get its yellow. And you could do this one as black also. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now coming to this one, and we can go ahead and grab something. Let's see. I have a cosmetic sponge. Okay. Okay, that's huge. Okay. Okay, so just giving a little bit of color, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and just add a couple pieces of washi tape down here. We've already okay, so that gives us some of the color that we've been doing, and then the way that this closes right here, I think I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to do these three real quick. Okay. So I'm going to come almost to the edge on this. Okay. So that'll give us that. And we'll have that. Okay. So we got a little bit of that going on there. I like that. Okay, so we'll have that and that happening. So now we'll go ahead and turn both of these over. And I want to do this first because we use broken washi tape on the other side. Okay, so I have my washi tape out and in my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of those. All three of them would have been better for assembly line. Assembly line works so well because you already thought up the idea. So you've taken your time for that. You've taken your time for gathering your products or your product, and now you're just duplicating it. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Okay. Okay, now we can put that back. Now grab our pink, and it's going here and here, right? There and there. Yeah. And there and there. And then the black one. There. There. Okay. Then we're going to turn these over and sponge our color. Okay, and then okay, I think think I want a little more on the leaf. I was like, did I remember to color the leaf? Okay, we're gonna color the center green, which is my favorite. I love, actually I like white daisies with the green centers. Okay, so there's that. So those are colored. And then we're gonna use broken washi. Okay, so washi. Okay, and this works because these are colors or things that we're already using in the journal. It still gives you all that space for writing. Okay, so this side you'll open and you'll have that. This side you'll open and you'll have that. Okay, I don't think it interferes with the ledger, but that gives us 2 sets of finished pages. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and let's move on to a set of the writing pages. Okay, and we do need to cut these down. And let's go ahead. We're going to leave these. Okay. Okay, so pull this out. Okay, we're going to cut this at 8.5, because this one we're just going to go ahead and go straight for the 8.5. Okay, and we're going to cut this one at 5 1/4. Make sure they're lined up. 5 1/4. Okay, so that is going to give us this. Okay, and so there's 1, 2. Oh, we need to do one more. Sorry about that. Okay. Eight and a half. 5 1/4. The regular pages on this would be 5 1/2. Okay, but we're going 5 1/4. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure they all have 2 pages in them. Yes, they do. Okay, so one of the things that I really do like to do on my lined pages is to add washi. Any of the thinner papers, it just is a good addition. Okay, so to start off with, go ahead and add a washi to each of these. It was bubbling up, you guys. Okay. There's that. Okay, then we'll trim them down. Okay. And you can go ahead and take your trims and put them somewhere rather than waste them if you wanted to. Okay, so that's showing you doing that. Then we can also, just like we did before, we can stamp on your lined paper. Okay. These are going to be in opposite sides. Okay, so while we've got this out, we'll go ahead and, we did not trim this washi yet, but okay. But something as simple as a single solid stamp in color is a great way to add. Okay, and then where's my stencil? Stenciling is another, it's up here with the master board. Sorry about that. Okay, so another way of adding is by stenciling. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to start on the outside and go in towards the center. Okay, and then you can come in with your center color. If you have something that is round that you can so just adding a stencil. We have this one too. I think we'll use this one. We'll just grab. So this is just cosmetic sponge. Remember that your ink daubers and things like that this time are a tool. So your cosmetic sponge would count as a tool. Okay, so there just gives us another way of adding some color without adding, let's bunch this up a little more, without adding bulk. Okay, so this stencil is from Dollar Tree. It is one of my 20 items. And I am so excited. I found the coolest die that I didn't even know I had. That is a daisy, and we'll be working with that on another day. Oh, I guess we can go ahead and, forgot to add its center. Okay, so stenciling, stamping, washi tape, all great ways for adding with no bulk. Okay, now if you draw, you can go ahead and draw, but your pins, for this challenge, your pins need to come from your dollar store. Your pins or your paints this time come from your dollar store. So part of your 20. And your dollar store can be Dollar Tree, Dollar General, but they are dollar items, like dollar spot Target items. You can use those. Okay, there we go. So just a little bit of stenciling there. And okay, so that gives us that set up. Okay, now for your graph paper. Now your graph paper, you can go ahead and do a flap. to give you more room. I am going to go ahead and cut mine down this time. Let's go with 5.5. We'll put this somewhere in the very front of the journal. How about just a little less than 5.5? Okay. You can see our pile is getting bigger over here. We'll be able to use those. So I'm just going to show you with this one. So another thing that you can do is if you have edge punches. Merry Christmas. Okay. Okay, so edge punch. Let's go ahead. I have this fun, it's from Recollections, a daisy punch that I got several years ago. If you aren't familiar with edge punches, they are wonderful for adding edges. I really like to add edge punches to that look like lace like this to something that's white and then put it over something that is darker. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's start up higher. Now I don't normally like to do this. I like to do this standing up so that I can see all the way up. But you're going to see that there is an imprint or a picture of what you just punched, and you want to go ahead and be right on top of that, and then you should be able to punch next to it. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and punch. Okay. So I should have done it in the other direction so that I could be seeing what I was doing. Okay. So you just line those up. Oop, we lost one. Should be okay. Should be able to go back over it. Okay, so this is what we're getting. This little daisy edge. It's so cool to be able to use all my stuff. I was like, oh yeah, edge punch. Oh yeah, don't I have a daisy? Daisies are my favorite flower. Okay, so that's going to give me that really cool edge punch. And then if that happened to be in the journal with a dark page behind it, okay, with a dark page behind it, that's what you're going to see. And then, you know, with like a stair step, you'll get like a lace edge. Okay, and somehow I wasn't all the way up against the edge. That should have a little rounded edge on it. I'll try and make sure I do that for the next ones. Now you can come in with your distress and also come in and distress around this. You can take this edge, and I think there's enough color on that one. Let's try this one. So if you were going to go ahead and distress that, you might want to go ahead and put something under it like this. Okay. I just knew there was a lot of yellow on this, so. Okay. And now you've added that light yellow edge with the daisies. And of course that probably would have been better with something darker, but there you go. I think it's still kind of cool. And if you changed your mind and decided that it was going to go like that, I mean, isn't that kind of cool? You've got ledger and then this, but you can put another paper on the inside just to give you some ideas of you know, things that you can do that will add edge. Like we've added a lacy edge, but we didn't add the lacy edge bulk. We also could add a piece of the washi tape here, or a strip of the paper. If you had like a branding strip or something, add that here for another dimension. But there, I really like that actually, like a lot. So for your assembly line, you'd go ahead and do all 3 pages and have it ready. So there's that. So I had one more thing I wanted to show you, and I just keep not getting a chance to do it. So we're gonna do this real quick. I have my new cutting mat. This was from Dollar Tree. I'm really actually very excited about this. And so what I'm gonna do is really quick, I'm going to find a paper here that I can use. I'm gonna stamp this on it. Now, we have a million envelopes over here. Let's use an envelope. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Stamp these daisies. Okay, so Daisy's stamped. So this is one of the 9. Okay, and then I'm going to come and grab my X-Acto knife. Exactly. And I'm going to go ahead and cut around. You know what? Let's cut around this little one just because it's going to be faster. Okay, so I'm just going to cut around my petals. Wow. Might need a new knife blade. Okay, cutting around my petals. I'm going to start. Okay, that's cut. That's cut. So we're cutting all the way around this daisy here. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out where I've already cut. Sorry. Yes, you definitely want a sharp blade for this. I have to go. Another thing I need to be looking for when I'm cleaning this week. I want my, well, I usually do this out of cardstock, especially if it's something I'm going to want to use time and time again. And I usually actually do it for things that are a little bit bigger, like a teddy bear, pumpkin. Okay, so I've shown you this before. Okay, so we've cut that piece out. So if you're doing assembly line, this will actually make sense for assembly line, where for a single one thing, not so much. You can just do like what we did. But I can come in now and I can go ahead and color in my flower very, very quickly. Assembly line. Okay, so I can go along. And I might do this on all those ones that we've already put in the journal. Okay, so there. And I can do it with all the flowers, and I would do them all separately. So you see how much yellow went over here? If I wanted to make this one pink, and then I could just use a separate mask to do that. Now, if I want to color around the outside of that, I can take my mask, and now I can go ahead and say I want to just put a foggy around the outside. I can go ahead and mask it. Okay? Instead of just, I mean, it's not that big of a deal to do that, but okay? So, masking and making your own stencil. Basically, we just made our own stencil. Okay? So, if you were not able to add a stencil to your, maybe you didn't find the right one, you can make a stencil with your stamps. by cutting around and around the outside of your stamp. And you can use something such as an X-Acto knife. I need to find the blades. Okay, a couple more stamping or stenciling techniques. One is being able to use, you know, whatever it is that you use for distressing. You can actually take your sponge and make dots. Now these are really faint, so they're not going to make it so that you can't write on that, but you've given a little bit of color there. And so of course we'll go ahead and do that to all of those pages. And then another thing that you can do is you can take a page, and let's go ahead, we'll just grab another cosmetic sponge. Okay, and you can go ahead and make stripes, okay? I did a whole journal where you weren't there, you didn't have very many things. It was a Nick the Booksmith challenge, and to get pretty papers, I used stenciling like this. I think we need one more over here. Okay, so that gives us some more color, but still going to be able to write on that. So that is another way of stenciling onto your paper using sponge. You can punch out, if you picked up foam from the dollar store and that was one of your 20 items, you can go ahead and punch out foam pieces and make a stamp. I actually made a stamp out of lace for that challenge. Again, that was the Nick the Booksmith. It was like Stranded on a Desert Island or something. So you might be able to look up, well, in mine it would be look up Desert Island, because I'm pretty sure I wrote Desert Island in my title. It was a lot of fun, and you were only allowed to use certain things. And so I think you had one ink, and yeah, it was like what you would have with you for writing in a little pouch. It was really cool. Today I'm going to be trying to get my pages all together so that I can figure out what I really want to do for a cover. And I did that because I'm not sure how big of a spine I'm going to actually need or want. We'll put that over there, save it. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to clean this off and let's see what we made today. If you're still here, say stencil in the comments. And here we go, our pages that we have decorated and not really added any bulk. So here we have our ledger paper. We stamped the daisy. We used a cosmetic sponge to go ahead and just add color with our stamp pad, and then added some washi tape here. This one over here, we added washi tape along this border because this is going to have the flip out, and then added our pink bouquet of flowers with the black top on it. And we have 3 of those. Okay, with this was our graph paper, and we went ahead and we cut it down, and we used our edge punch, and then we used the Distress ink to go ahead and distress that edge. We did it on this side, and so you faintly see this here. And now we can go ahead and turn this, okay? So turn this over so that you still have the mostly white edge that I like that looks like lace, but then when you turn this, you'll have the yellow edge, okay? A lot of times our left side is neglected, so that kind of gives you something pretty for the left side, okay? So I kind of like those pages together like that, and so that's that set. Then we took our other ledger, because you get to use 2 pieces of ledger, and remember I use the long ledger, and we added the stamped images, the little bouquet with the black line drawing of the bouquet on top, the yellow lined daisy, and then the solid blue. We did a pattern down this side and a little pattern there. You've got plenty of writing space on this, and there's that one there. So we have 3 of those that are ready. And then for our lined paper, we came in with that little sponge and added the little very faint dots and washi tape to the edge here. We took our block stamp and blocked here and here. And you know what? We did come in with yellow. I'll need to do that on the inside. Then we did some lined stenciling here, and on the back here we have we did use our daisy stencil. I did it in the center just for something different, and so we have 3 of those that are ready. So we've got so there's 2 pages on each of those, so there's 2, 3, 4 sets of pages, 5 because we did our graph paper also. So 5 sets of pages ready for our journal. And I did do them at different lengths. So like this one can go closer to the center of the journal, and these ones can go, this one closer to the beginning of the journal, this one more towards the middle. And so that is some ways to go ahead and add color and fun to a journal without adding bulk. Which one's your favorite? Please let us know. And was any of this new to you and something that you're going to try right away? I'm looking forward to, look at this. Look at all these ways that we did stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing what you were excited to see. Okay, so there's that, and that. Oh yeah, we also, remember, we also showed the masking and coloring in, okay? So don't forget about that, because that is oh my gosh, it is a time saver, and especially if this bothers you, the way that it's not in the lines, then that would be a way for you to go ahead and color your things within the lines. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.